and welcome to Cavan TV. Now, if I say the townland Cornafean to you, what do you think? I know exactly what you think. You think music and football. Exactly. And to tell us about the music part today, another name that's synonymous with Cornafean is Paddy McDermott. Welcome to the studio this evening, Paddy.
Thanks very much, Anya.
You are very welcome. And my goodness, and we mentioned Cornafean earlier when we did an interview with Danielle McDermott, no relation, from the Arts Council, and a wonderful night that's coming up in Cornafean. But as you can see behind us there, folks, rolling back the years, Cornafean's cultural story. Paddy, tell me what this is all about.
Well, it's a collection of archives that has been lying around Cornafean in the last 50 years. Videotapes, scrapbooks and oral tradition and all the rest of it. And I thought maybe after 50 years, and especially during the COVID, I had lots of time to think, would it be wonderful if all of this could be gathered together and put into one. And of course, no DVD would hold it, so we had to go for the USB memory stick.
That's wonderful. Now, I want to mention as well that, Paddy, for at least 50 years that you have been involved in score and in music of all kinds. Traditional music, of course, is thing in Cornafean. Anybody who lives in Cornafean plays something, folks. If it's not football, it's a musical instrument. But anyway, the history that's there in Cornafean is great, and they've taken part in score all over the years and got great results in score as well. Very high standards in Cornafean.
Yeah, well, and the other thing too was that we took part in every discipline in the score. Some clubs used to take part in what they were good at, but we took part in each of the 8 disciplines because we wanted a communal effort made.
Great stuff.
And
yeah.
Even though we were strong in music and novelty acts and recitations,
yep.
we went through dancing and the whole lot, because the overall award was the award that we won 28 of them in the 50 years. You know,
fantastic. Hard to beat, Cornafean.
Yeah.
How did you come about all the archives that you got? Were they hard to find, or were they hard to gather off people?
We were very fortunate in score that from the middle 80s, Pat Lee from Drumalee, P&A Videos, he came to every score and he videoed, and he has left and between what I had myself and Gavin McDermott, he has a store of them, and that's what prompted me. And I went to Dr. Rudden, Paddy Rudden. He's now a retired doctor, but he's very good on the technological end of things. So I asked him, would it be possible to put these into some other form so they could be all put together? And he took up the challenge straight away, and we set to work on that.
And you were telling me it took it's 4 years in the making.
Oh yeah, it's a huge effort. It's a huge job. You know, trying to get this and pick the pieces out. And then during COVID, we couldn't visit each other.
Yeah.
So
it was hard to kind of do that via Zoom, wasn't it?
And then when you're involved in a project like this, other material surfaces, because you're talking to somebody. Start digging, you get it.
Yeah. And the other person that was a great help to you as well in editing, you were saying, was George Cartwright.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
He is the past master at all this. So once you have him on board, you're safe.
So Paddy, I'm going to just, as you can see,
I mentioned another archive was that while we were at this, Harry Masterson from Killishandra, the late Harry Masterson, his tapes survived. They were found down in Kerry by his brother Austin, and he kindly gave us those as well. So that brought us back to the early 80s.
What were they of?
Of score as well.
Of score.
And
so
other
just
things.
People in the hall recording score on the night.
Yeah.
Rolling back the years, Cornafean's cultural story. You have a great weekend organised as well, but I want to talk about the USB stick. It's 3 hours long, and when you go into it, you can pick the section that you want to go in and have a look at. Explain that to us.
Yeah, well, there's about 8 chapters. The first one is the introduction and shows footage of Drum Crow Pipe Band and Eugene Leddy and all the characters of those olden times.
Is any of that going past 50 years?
Past 50 years.
Before 50 years.
Just giving you kind of a background to what's going on. And then there's the Cornafean Marching Band, which was in huge demand in the 70s, led by Breach Kilkenny, the late Breach Kilkenny. And then the score starts then in earnest in the 80s. And there's about 4 or 5 chapters on that. And then from all of this, it developed the famous Cornafean Ceilidh group, which were in huge demand in the late 80s and 90s. So, and then it finishes off with loads of pictures and of events. And to finish up, we have 2023 score to show the score is still going on, and we hope that there'll be another 50 years of it.
Like, that's a great work. Now, what was your aim behind all of that? To save the archives, or?
Yeah, well, people would say to me, "Oh,
to save it,
to save it." And then we with the Cornafean group, we appeared on television 4 or 5 times when it wasn't very easy to get on, and we were collaborating with the Crossmuller Wren boys. And people would ask me, "Have you any footage of this sort of stuff?" So we decided to if we could get a stick and put all this on it, it'll be there for everybody, and they can look back at it. Not alone that, but the people that took part, they can show it to their family, their children, and it'll encourage them maybe to, like the youngsters, to follow suit.
Now, around this, it just so happens that you chose the 22nd of September to be the night to launch this USB stick, and that happens to be Culture Night as well. That's worked out well for you.
It has worked out well. We were told, you see, this was it started off as part of we got a bit of a grant under the Cavan Calling, and then Eva Clancy, the festival director, she told me that we should have it wrapped up by the end of September, and we couldn't go the last weekend in September, so we took the one before it, and then suddenly it was it.
So what have you on all that weekend? Do you have a great night planned?
Yes, we have a prize winners, we have Mass in Cornday, and then a prize winners concert in McShane's, for a short concert, and then the launch. And then all hell will break loose then.
As it does in Cornafean on a good night like that. And again, the stick is there to be bought on the night, and it's in a lovely wood-presented box as well.
Yes, my daughter Gemma was responsible for that whole production of the box.
It's a beautiful gift, and that would be lovely for folk abroad as well.
Oh yeah, and it's so good. I don't think anyone would bother copying hope they wouldn't copy the USB stick, that they would buy it, and
the original,
because it looks very good as a memorabilia.
Absolutely. So a great night planned. As I say, Cornafean is great. You're great at the music, the ballad groups, the solo singers, the recitation. You've got dancers in there. The novelty acts were always great as well.
Yes. Gemma Good reviewed it on the Celt today, and she had never seen score before, and she was thrilled to see the sketches.
Yeah,
that was
they're
her,
so funny.
you know.
Yeah.
Sean Masson was a big man now at those sketches, and Michael McGibney at recitation.
Their names are synonymous. Sean, of course, it was great at if you wanted something funny written up for your 40th or your 50th birthday party, Sean was the man.
At the drop of a hat.
At the drop of a hat, and he hit it where it hurts, but it was great. So your night as well, you want to get everybody from Cornafean there in the night.
Well, we're hoping for people that were in the band and are not living in the area would come.
Yeah.
They did come for the gathering.
Like Cornafean calling. That says it in the thing, Cornafean's calling.
There was a big gathering of them in 2013. You remember the year of the gathering?
Yeah.
We had the band reunited that night, so it was very successful. So we're hoping they'll all come back again.
Great night. So come along on the night.
On the night. If you can't come on the night. If you can't come on the night, come to the library in Cavan the following day, where we'll be showing some memorabilia, and that the young musicians will be performing in the library in Cavan between 3 and 5.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and we know the families in Cornafean are just, many families are steeped in music. And we have a special treat for you on Cavan TV. And in the studio we have Aideen and Keelan Martin. And Aideen is going to play the fiddle, and Keelan is going to play the concertina. And they're both members of the very successful Breffni Yogue Ceilidh Band. Is that right, Paddy? And they happen to be your grandchildren as well. As I say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Their parents play music as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Okay, so we're going to have Keelan and Aideen to play 2 reels. Is it, girls? Well done. There you'd like to thank that got you this going?
Most certainly the Paddy Rudden. He put in a huge effort into this. It was painstakingly, and George Cattard, of course, who oversaw the whole operation. And the man that I must thank is, he started off in the beginning, was Philip Clark. And of course my daughter Gemma for the USB stick. I think it's a great job.
Well done. And of course the man himself, Paddy McDermott.